Welcome to Ocean Chicks Movie Reviews and Munchies, where I'll review my favorite movies every Monday and Thursdays on this channel. The film Born to be Free takes us on a journey to the most remote corners of Russia on the Black Sea, where we witness for the very first time the shocking mistreatment of 18 beluga whales held captive in tiny pools while they await their transfer to the Atlantic Aquarium in Georgia, all in the name of supposedly educational purposes. So, we need a favorite snack to go along with our movie because that's what this show's all about. So today, my favorite snack, popcorn. But with mine, I added a little bit of vegan butter, nutritional yeast, and some pink salt because that's what I really like to eat. So go grab some munchies for yourself and let's get started. Okay, so these three free-diving journalists take us bravely on this journey to reveal these 18 beluga whales that were captured in Russian waters because it's not illegal to do that there. They're held in small pools in horrendous conditions for months and months, waiting on the highest bidders from China, Japan, or maybe Iran, and sometimes they keep it in Russia. And in this story, we're hearing about how the US wants to buy these belugas, but I'm not going to give away the ending, and you're going to have to watch it to see what actually happens. These belugas are violently captured, they're ripped from their families, and only the gray ones are the ones that they keep. The gray ones are the ones that are the babies, actually, that are only a couple of years old. And the reasoning behind that is the adults are much too large for them to capture and contain and harvest. So it's too expensive to do that, so they don't bother with them, and many of those ones die or they lose their babies. It's just absolutely horrible. Some of the babies even die after they're captured because of the stress, because of the horrifying ways that they capture these animals. Sometimes they're scooping them up in these tarps that don't even have room for their fins, so the fins actually break, and it's just awful. You really have to see this film. And we do see some of the seaquariums that are in Russia, and they're set up much like SeaWorld is. And it's kind of interesting. They interview a couple trainers, and I find it crazy. A lot of the trainers that train these animals feel that what they're doing to these animals is absolutely terrible, and they really want them all released back into the wild. And something else I found interesting in the film was that they say they have to teach the beluga to eat dead fish because they're not used to that. So they literally spend 3 or 4 months kind of breaking them down and training them to behave, eat the fish that way, learn how to do tricks, that kind of thing. And these companies here that we're talking about, they also capture sea lions, seals, dolphins, anything that people request that they're going to want to buy from them. And the people that catch them make much less money than the middleman who they sell them to. Very small pools that they house them in Russia after they capture them are chlorinated pools. They don't even have fresh seawater with all the nutrients and things that the animals need. They keep them in these really small pens. And the 3 pens that you see, 2 of them I believe have 7 or 8 belugas, if you can believe it, in such a small pool. And they stay there for months and months and months and months, living in their own excrement and filth and not being cared for very well, until the companies that are going to use them for, like seaquariums that are going to use them for shows, buy them and have them transported to where they're going to go. In one part of the film, one of the divers goes diving with these belugas, which they're really hard to come close to because they're very shy animals. And the belugas are all kind of dancing around below in the kelp and the seaweed, and it's kind of tickling them, and they really enjoy that. And there's another scene in the film where you see an orca in captivity that is actually laying on the bottom of this very shallow concrete pool. And I'm thinking, I think they enjoy being out in the wild more doing that than they do laying at the bottom of this concrete pool. I'm sure they're not getting the same kind of stimulus that they do in the wild. Some scientists think beluga whales live 35 to 50 years in the wild, but others believe 60 to 70 years, based on how many teeth they lose per year. In any case, belugas are highly intelligent creatures and incredibly sociable, living together with their families most of their lives, and they love playing in groups. They also travel thousands of miles and are not used to living in a small, shallow pool. This was a fantastic film. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I recommend it, and you can see it on Netflix. And I'm going to say it once again, don't buy tickets to these shows. That's the best way that you can help protect these animals and keep them in the wild. If you want to learn about these animals, you want your children to learn about these animals, them doing circus tricks in a pool for fish isn't real. That's not natural. That's not what the kids should be learning. They should be learning how these animals adapt and live in the wild. And you can only do that really by reading books or going online to websites where researchers actually study them in the wild and post that kind of stuff. So don't buy a ticket. So do me a favor and comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this film, whether you liked it, whether you hated it. And also, let's talk about seaquariums. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think they're a good thing? Do you think they're a bad thing? Have you gone to one? Let's chat. Let's get the discussions going. I would really enjoy that, and I think you would too. Okay, so like I said, I loved this film. I'm going to give it 5 shark bites, and thanks so much for joining me. Let me know what other films you'd like me to screen. I basically tend to like to go towards documentary films about nature, about animals, but yeah, or social activism even. Let me know what you'd like me to do next, and I will see what I can do. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you can be notified when I'm going to upload my next video. And you can also become part of the Ocean Chicks crew because we'd love to have you. I absolutely love all of you, and we'll see you again next time. Bye!